okay, my name is qualified. I call myself qualified because I'm qualified to be speaking on whatever I'm speaking on when I'm speaking on it. And hopefully, this is gonna be part two of finding the Egyptian gods and goddesses. So right now, I really don't know because I've been so doing this, doing that. I don't even know where I left off at, and I can just go through and look at the videos and stuff. But I'm feeling like I left off. Let's just review the tabs because the same tabs is up. Because I was going all around, just gathering and pulling everything all together and all the above. Like, what was the what? Pulling everything above all together. So I think I left off on this guy, but I don't know, man. I'm gonna combine and put it all together. So we're gonna be there. We're gonna be there. We there. I remember talking about that. We're gonna be there, and I gotta go through that. But we're gonna be there, there, and there. We're gonna come with this. So now I'm gonna read this. This is some breaking news. It's not really, but this is breaking news. So first of all, before I read that, let's take it to this. So let's take it back. Let's take it back. Let's take it back. Bam. So I was talking about this personification of whatever, whatever in the last video, right? So the Bible states that the devil came down to earth. He was cast out of heaven, and along he came with his angels, with his followers, which was fallen angels, which was other angels that came down with him, which would be fallen angels, which would be um demons, which would be um can't think of the name because it's a lot going through my head. But so this is why I talk about magic. This is why I wanted to pinpoint magic and all of the above because all of this stuff, in order to come up with some of these things, you gotta understand that our spirit works off of magic. Not really, but kind of. But our spirit goes off of magic. Magic is something that only the spirit can recognize. The human body can't, and the human body and the human mind can't recognize magic because shooting a bullet through a gun is sort of magic, wizardry, sort of type of magic because your eye can't catch the bullet. So I'm saying that so we can't recognize magic, but as a human being, we can, but our soul knows magic. Just like you know what's right and what's wrong, your soul knows it. Not your brain, your soul know it. Your soul telling you. Your brain know the common things and common knowledge of what's being taught. Your brain know mathematics and your brain know left from right. But your spirit know right and wrong. Your spirit know your spirit will guide you the right way or the wrong way, depending on which way you want to go. But your spirit guides you, not your mind. Because your mind don't know nothing but what you know. Your mind move off of what your spirit knows. So I was talking about magic, right? So just assume that the devil came down, right? He was cast out of heaven. So how do you think these angels how do you think they and Egyptians so I was going back to the Mesopotamians, um this right here, the Mesopotamians and stuff, I went up through that stuff through the last video. I was going through this um in the video and stuff. So what it took me back. Well, I was going through that Greek stuff, right? So what I found out is ancient Egyptian was here before Greek. Obviously, I've said that. Egyptian was here before Greek. I wasn't so sure on it, but I found out that Egyptian was here before Greek. So obviously, they came down, whatever, whatever. So we talk about these primordial waters, right? Let's pull up the Mediterranean Sea. This is the Mediterranean Sea, right? This whole bunch and group, but it all takes place right here. Hint, hint, hint. The word is Israel. Israel, however they want to spell it, but the speaking and teaching is to us. It's called Israel. Is real. What is real? Is real. Something is saying it is real. Notice, like I said, this is a triangle. It's called the delta. If I didn't go through it, I'm gonna go through it after I explain this. This little upside down triangle of land is called the Nile Delta. This land right here that's follow the green, the grass, is called the Nile River. The Nile River. This is the Nile River. This whole line right here of this green stuff. Then it go down to this water. This green stuff is land, which is water, which is a river. Like um, you know how it is, swampy around waters and things like that. It could be mountains and all. I mean, not mountains. It could be forest and all this and that. But we know for sure that it's forest and woods up in this area. Well, we're gonna dig a little bit deeper, but let me just tell this story. So they was cast down from heaven. How do you think they will? Do you really think and believe off of movies like they was cast out of heaven and then they just dropped down and they smacked the earth, or they dropped down and they hit the ground? No, 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 no. That's why water is such a big important part of life. Water, number one, is the key essential to everything. They called it as we was looking through. In the other part of the video, they called it the abyss, the abyssal zone. The deep waters is the abyss. Nobody on this earth has dug down to the deep bottom blue oceans of the ocean. So ain't nobody touched the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. Ain't nobody touched the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea in this area. So, and if they have, tell them to speak about it. Write a book about it. Is there something out there about it? No, no, no. Ain't nobody touched the bottom of the bottom. They still can barely get to the Titanic. Ain't nobody touched the bottom of the ocean, the real ocean. They didn't touch bottoms of parts where it's a layer, but then they still gotta go deep down, down, down. Ain't nothing touched down there. Ain't nothing touched down there. So I'm saying, how are people born? I done broke that down in the I broke where and how people come from down in the Mediterranean in a Latin roots video. So I was saying Medi is middle. Medi is middle. Mediterranean Sea right here. Let me highlight it. I can't even highlight it, but where this little four-pointer arrow thing is, where this little mouse said, the Mediterranean Sea. That means the middle of dry land. The middle dry land. That's middle of dry land. Middle, whatever, whatever. Obviously wetland. It's the middle of dry land. You see, it's the middle land, middle dry land. When we broke it down with the Latin roots, the middle of dry land. This is all dry land, and this is the middle of dry land, which is wetland, the big water. So they call it the Mediterranean Sea. Obviously, it's called the middle for a reason. But that's where everything starts. Because once again, we got Jesus that was born over here in Israel, which was ancient Mesopotamia later down the line. Jesus was born over here in Jerusalem, Israel, which is Jerusalem inside of Bethlehem. He was born over here, right? He traveled to Egypt. Some may say he traveled to Egypt, which the Bible does say. He when he was born, King Herod was looking for him as an infant, trying to kill him, and they transported over to Egypt. I don't know further on that. I just know that part. I didn't read further beyond that. So they traveled over to Egypt, right? What's so special about Egypt? Whatever or whatever. But I'm going off. Let me continue back to on what I was on. So if they so everything is born, everything is put in the middle. Babies are born, humans are born through the stomach of the body of a woman, which is the middle of the body, which has a lot of water contents. We're born in water. You can give birth to a baby inside of water. That's how births used to be done. You get baptized in water. You could whatever. I'm saying everything emerges from water. So they were spirits. They wasn't humans when they hit the earth. They were spirits. They were not humans when they hit the earth. When the fallen angels came down to this earth, They were not humans. And it's like, how would they submerge? How would they emerge on here on how would they emerge themselves into a human form? How would they birth themselves? They had to birth themselves onto this earth into a human form. They had to birth themselves somehow onto earth in a human form. And this is how they did it. They emerged from the Mediterranean waters. You gotta put one and one together. They emerged from the Mediterranean waters over here. They emerged from the waters and walked the land, and now they call themselves gods and goddesses because they have the abilities that humans don't have. They have the ability to do things that humans don't have. That's why you call them gods and goddesses. That's why everything is found over everything found over there is so significant. You find the Rosetta Stone along the Nile River. You got um that's all I can think of right now, but the Rosetta Stone is major. Okay, but anyways, a lot of things are found along the Nile River. A lot of things are found along the Nile River. And we're gonna discover that as I go through because now I'm trying to put this in order. Like this is the order I should have went in. Like whatever. So, but I just gotta say this. It say Ramadan City, right? That has to do with Muslims. Um, because this just caught my eye. That has to do with Muslims and that's with all that fasting and this and that, blah blah. Obviously, all religions and things like that came from a certain part of the time, and they all branched out. As we see, there was different gods and different kings and queens of Egypt that all had different beliefs, but they all believed in the Egyptian gods. All the Egyptian gods and goddesses taught different things. So and religion was one of them because all of them were based on different things. One was based on like astrology, one was based on math, one was based on science type of stuff like that. So one was based on religion, one was based on this religion, one was based on that religion. Like so, you learning different things. But so I just told you how they emerged. Believe it or not, this goes back to this. So if you think I'm lying, listen to it. Primordial water is an let me read the whole paragraph. Nu, which I let me just read summarize. Nu or Nun is an ancient Egyptian religion, is the personification of primordial watery abyss which existed at the time of creation and from which the creator sun god Ra arose. I'm saying if you're a spirit, you're in energy form, you're a spirit in form. You have what it takes to be a human, but you're in form. But these Egyptian gods and goddesses had a little more than we had because, like I said, they came from heaven already, and came down with teachings and stealings and things that they didn't got. They came down with things that they was teaching us that they weren't supposed to teach us because they stole them. They stole the rituals and magic and things like that that weren't supposed to be taught, and they used it upon themselves. That's why so many cults out here because every cult practice different this and that. But it all goes back to witchcraft. And at the end of the day, obviously, like what I done read that book from part one, women were taught witchcraft first, but men were taught the resolving of enchantments. So, what's the resolving of enchantments? We're gonna get into that, but maybe not in this part. But let's take it back to the maps so I can break down this delta, which I have in video one that I put out, which is now deleted. You can go back. I mean, if you in whatever if you didn't if you got enough from this, then you don't need to watch this. You can skip past this. So let's get up a Google tab on the Nile Delta. Let me get some more tabs up though. So we starting here. Oh, I'm typing in the wrong spot. Nile Delta. Let's get it up, man. Once again, it says the Nile Delta is the delta formed in Lower Egypt where the Nile River spreads out and drains into the Mediterranean Sea. It said the river drains into the Mediterranean Sea. No, the Mediterranean Sea drains into the river, which is why it's a river. But it is one of the world's largest deltas from Alexandria in the west, Port Said in the east. It covers 240 kilometers of the Mediterranean coastline and is a rich agricultural region. From north to south, the delta is approximately the delta began approximately 160 miles and kilometers. The delta began slightly downriver from Cairo. So that's one thing I'm saying. So they emerged from the waters, right? The water brings, if you didn't know, water brings snakes, alligators, fish, humans, all the above. Reptiles can exist in water. So when you talk about the beginning of time, when you talk about Adam and Eve, you talk about the serpent, of course, the serpent will be serpent around in the garden because that's where it exists. It exists around swampy lands, watery lands, and high desert areas, and in grass, depending on what type of snake it is. But all of them animals exist in Africa and in the Middle East. But every type of animal exists in Africa. You may not catch a polar bear, but you get all them wild exotic animals that lives in the wild exotic areas. You get all them animals in Africa. So that leads me to think this. Is the Garden of Eden in the Nile Delta? Is the Garden of Eden in the Nile Delta? Because obviously we know that the Egyptian gods and goddesses emerged from them primordial waters right there. Is that where the Garden of Eden is and not Iraq? And did so, so, and then if that is, and then if the Nile Delta is a triangle, maybe we looking at the map upside down then. Maybe the version of the map that they're giving us is not the way we're supposed to be looking at it because how you call a delta when it's an upside down triangle? Or does that upside down triangle represent that everything bad comes from there, which is the Egyptian gods and goddesses? Because that's where they arose from. That's where they arose. You think I'm lying? Let's continue. It talks about the Mediterranean Sea, boom, delta. I don't want to pull that out. I want to pull out agriculture. It said agriculture encompasses crop and livestock production, aquaculture and forestry for food and non-food products. Agriculture was a key factor in the rise of sedentary human civilization, whereby farming of domesticated species created food surpluses that enabled people to live in the cities. While humans started gathering grains at least 105,000 years ago, nascent farmers only began planting them around 11,500 years ago. Sheep, goats, pigs, and cattle were domesticated around 10,000 years ago. Plants were independently cultivated at least 11 regions of the world in the 20th century. Industrial agriculture based on large scale monocultures came to dominate agriculture output, whatever that means. So it says it's rich in agriculture. It's rich in growing things. It's good land, good dirt, good land. So you probably find some. You probably find. Obviously, you find a lot of gold over there. Gold is gold, diamonds, all that stuff found in Africa. That's the home of where they get. So they talk about Port Said, Alexandria, and Rosetta. Let's get the Rosetta Stone up. Rosetta ain't up here because we ain't got that far into the reading, but it talks about the Nile Delta, right? This is the Nile Delta. Let's get the Rosetta Stone up. Let's get a view of this. First of all, the Rosetta Stone is written in three languages. One is ancient Egyptian, one is ancient Greek, and the other one you don't know, but we finna find out. It says the Rosetta Stone is a stele of Grandorite inscribed with three versions of decree issued in 196 BC during the Ptolemaic dynasty of Egypt on behalf of King Ptolemy V Epiphanes. The top and middle texts are in ancient Egyptian using hieroglyphic and Demotic scripts. Once again, do you think it's really Demotic scripts or is demonic scripts? And the word got changed down the line. Respectfully, while the bottom is in ancient Greek, the decree has only minor differences across the three versions, making the Rosetta Stone key to deciphering the Egyptian scripts. Somebody left that stone there for these ages to understand. Who? Let's look up where is Rosetta, right? If nothing emerged from the waters, let's look up. First of all, it's written in a rock. Granodorite is a rock from the earth. A rock. How did you write that in a rock in BC? What was you using? What tools are you using? It's a rock. Like I said, rocks are the bones of the earth. Rocks are the bones of the earth. Dirt, bones of the earth. Dirt is a rock. Dirt is the softest rock. So let's take it back. What I say? Let's get up Rosetta. Let's see how far Rosetta. Let's see how far. Let me read now. I ain't even finished. Let me read the second paragraph. Let's read the second paragraph. It say the stone was carved during the Hellenistic period, supposedly, and is believed to have originally been displayed within a temple, possibly at Sias. It was probably moved in the late antiquity or during the Mamluk period, and was eventually used in the build and it was eventually used as building material in the construction of Fort Julian near the town of Rashid, Rosetta, in the Nile Delta. It was found there in July 17, 1999, by French officer Pierre Francis Bouchard during the Napoleonic campaign in Egypt. It was it was the first ancient Egyptian bilingual text recovered in modern times, and it aroused widespread public interest with its potential to decipher this previously untranslated hieroglyphic script. Lithographic copies in plaster casts soon began circulating among European museums and scholars. When the British defeated the French, they took the stone to London under the terms of capitalization of Alexandria in 1801. Since 1802, it has been on public display at the British Museum almost continuously and is the most visited object there. Ask yourself that. Why is it there though? Why is it in the British Museum? First of all, if you don't know, United States is owned by Britain. United States is owned by the United Kingdom. United States is owned by Britain and the United Kingdom. It's powerful families in this world, man. The Rothschilds is the Britain family. You know what I'm saying? And I got a video coming out about Hitler, right? Because I don't feel like Hitler. They make it seem like Nazis, blah 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 blah. Not once has the Nazis said they were out to attack black people. They said they was out to attack the so-called Jews of the world. Look at the videos of Hitler, man. He talking about why he was attacking the Jews, basically because they what white people are in America right now. They people come to their aid, they this, they that. They this, they that. Like you know how white people is out here. He was on them for that. White people love to say, "Oh, I'm Jewish. Oh, I'm German. I'm this, I'm that," until it's time to be what it is, what it ain't. So he was on them for a reason. He was after the Rothschilds. I did my research, man. I feel like the only reason Hitler was knocked down because he started invading the Rothschilds' mansions, man. The Rothschilds are so-called Jews. The Rothschilds are the so-called Jews of the world. And I realized this playing the playing Call of Duty, man. I'm playing a game, and I'm like, wait, if Hitler was out to get the Jews of the world, which they make it seem like Hitler didn't like blacks and Jews. Man, Hitler was on the Jews, man. He wasn't on no black people. He was on the blacks, of course, because they sending us to war. When that's not our war to fight. But regardless, he was after the Rothschilds too. You don't go after the family, one of the families that's controlling the world. Then I feel like obviously America was developing something, and that's when boom, they got to dropping them bombs, them nuclear bombs, shutting everything down, making everything come quiet. So Hitler was after the Jews, which was after the Rothschilds, one of the leaders of the world. What did he know that we don't know? Ask yourself that. Do your research. Hitler invaded some of their mansions. Why are you invading their mansions? What do they have to do with anything? They just a rich family of the world, right? What do they got to do with anything? They're just a rich family in the world. He knew something we didn't know. He was one of the world leaders. He had access to things. He seen things and did his brainstorming before he started attacking. He also used to read the Bible. What did he know that we didn't know? So people be like, Nazis don't like this and that and don't like that. The only people that get offended by Nazism, whatever, is white people, man. That stuff don't phase black people. It phases us now because the stupid white people want to be neo Nazis and this and that. Man, if you do your research and you know what you know, Nazis was not out to get black people. Nazis were only after Jews. White people is out to get black people, which white people make other races hate black people. White people make the Mexicans feel like they this and they that, when at the end of the day, they don't like you either. Same as Chinese. They make the Chinese do like this, that, that. At the end of the day, they don't like you either. They don't like you either. They like you better than black, but they don't like you either. But they make all them races not like us. But at the end of the day, they all know why they don't like us. Because we're the original ones. We're original. But anyways, let's see where Rosetta is. If this is just some fake stuff, if this is some fake stuff, why is the Rosetta Stone found with 3 written languages, including ancient Egyptian, in Egypt? It's like, okay, it's a coincidence. It's a coincidence. Okay, if it's a coincidence, let's see where the coincidence was found. It said it said Rashid, town of Rosetta. What does that say? Rashid. What does it say? Rosetta. What does it say? Egypt. Where is it? Where is it? Along the Nile River. Where is it? Even close to the Mediterranean Sea. Where is it? Come on now. In the Nile Delta, on the Nile River, right next to the Mediterranean Sea. It has ancient Egyptian in it. It has ancient Greek in it, which is across the waters. Greece is right here across the waters. What else? It says some other towns. Oh, there go Alexandria, right next to the waters. Where's the pyramids at? Where's the pyramids? I don't even know if I'm gonna even go into some gods and goddesses in this video. This is just a breakdown to let you know where they come from before I move on. Cause like I feel like this is part two of it. I feel like this is part two because man, from what you know from part one, you can put it in part two with what I'm saying, and you see what it is. Like this is an upside down triangle. But stuff don't mean good. An upside down triangle. I don't know if I mentioned this in any of the videos, but let's pull up. Bam, that gang video when I was describing the gangs and symbolism. Let's pull up a triangle. Let's pull up an upside down triangle first. Anything coming down don't mean good. Anything upside down, anything downwards, anything this that don't mean good. Wow, upside down pyramid. What the? Why they got it? They know that ain't real. Let's get some images up. I didn't even realize that is how they do the food chart when you think about it. Pyramid. But I ain't looking for that. Upside down triangle. So once again, I'm not speaking. Triangle is not a word. Pyramid is not a word. It's deltas. They're deltas. They're deltas. Upside down delta. Let's see what that do. Vortex. Delta. Vortex. What do we have here? What is this? Delta sigma theta. Is it an upside down triangle? It's looking like it. That's the delta symbol right there. They got the delta. Now delta right there at the bottom of that. But I ain't looking for nothing like that. I'm just trying to see what's going on with the upside down triangle before I show you this symbol. How many things out here have upside down triangles now is what I'm wondering. How many logos and buildings have upside down triangles? Delta Airlines, is Delta Airlines upside down? Nah, but it's still, that's bold symbolism though. Damn. F- Alchemy, this is basic alchemy. Fire, water, air, earth. We're gonna leave that up. Yo, put it together. Come on now. Come on now. Let's pull them stars up. Let me get another. Let me pull this right next to that. Let's get up. This is still uncovering the Egyptian gods and goddesses for number one. If you're thinking it's not, you gotta get it all. You gotta get it all, man. Every lesson ain't gonna be whatever, but you get it. Let's pull up the 6 point star. Cause where do the 6 point star come from? Also something that Hitler was after. Hitler was after people wearing 6 point stars, which symbolizes Judaism, whatever you want to call it, Jewishness, whatever, whatever. So a 6 point star is a upside down triangle and a right side up triangle. Makes 6 stars. Makes 6 points. Makes 6 points. What is this? Oh, that's a 6 point star crooked. Make 6 stars. Make 6 stars. Make 6 stars. Make 6 stars. Let's pull that back up. Let's pull that other tab back up. What that mean when you put two of them together? That means fire and water. Fire and water. Fire and water. Now that's taking us to alchemy. Like we gotta dig further into that. Fire and let's get it up. Let's see what that means in alchemy. Fire and water symbols in alchemy. Fire and water mixed in alchemy. What? Let's see how the image is looking. Because can we get a star together? Is they gonna give us a star? Where are they getting these symbols from? Like who's the founder of alchemy though? Man, I thought that was Wikipedia. What did this just take us to? I don't know if I want to be here. And go hey, at the end of the day, but then that's what I'm. But whatever, opposite is the opposite. Fire is the opposite of water. Bam, put it together. You got it together. So our final drawing becomes the philosopher's stone, Solomon's seal, the Star of David. What the what? The heart of the flower, the sun. The reason why this is very simple symbol. The reason why this very simple symbol raises so much dust in the world is because of its immense power. What have I stumbled upon? Come on now. Man, that's the end of part two or whatever this part is. I don't even know, but man, I got more to come. Obviously, we breaking this stuff down. We going back, coming forward, going back. Like we finding stuff out. Like man, hey, I ain't even gonna lie. It excite me, but it don't. But it does, cause it's like, man, we gonna find some stuff. We gonna find it, whether we looking for it or not. While we looking for it, we gonna find it. But until next time.